Turning on the night and moving through the morning light. Remember how it was with you. Remember how you pulled me
Black queen for us black kings. We can learn a thing or two when we're locked in. One of the few places we can be heard. Facts, man, I rocks with her, that's my word. The show is enlightening, engagement always enticing. I always come with an open mind, I'm never frightened. Guaranteed to walk away with minerals. Now that I'm thinking everything else is minuscule. Rid of fools who don't protect black women. No arguing, disrespect, and that's it. Please come in peace when you call in. Cause our friends ain't no slouch, fair warning. The mail room, messages from him. Y'all better listen if you wanna win. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in.
What's going on, beautiful people? I am your girl, Coach TaShon, the founder and creator of the Mail Room, and welcome to another edition of the Mail Room Messages from Him, right? It is Messages from Him where I highlight Black men, positive Black men across the nation to come on and share their journey, their stories, or whatever they want to just talk about. So welcome again. And today I have the pleasure of having with me Mr. Brodrick Halls. How you doing, Brodrick?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm good. I am so good. I'm always elated to have Black men on the show and Black men who are doing something in the community, just in general. But this is what this platform is all about, just showcasing you all and so forth. And I thank you so much for answering the call to be on the show. So we're gonna jump right into this thing because I know you got a lot to say and we want to hear it.
All right, indeed.
So tell us who you are and what you do.
All right, so I am Brodrick Halls, native of Augusta, Georgia, home of the
Okay.
Masters, of course. Clark Atlanta University graduate.
Okay.
So AUC guy.
There you go.
Been here in the Metro Atlanta area for since 1993. So I came here and went to
Okay.
school, and I never left. I made it home. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I love the city. I
Yeah.
love everything about it, and have tried to be here and try to be a positive contributor to the city of Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. AUC in the house. Of course, I am Morris Brown. So,
Okay, so hey, we all in the same family.
We all in the same family.
I've taken classes there, and I'm sure you've taken classes at Clark Atlanta, so you know
Yep.
how it is.
I love it. I love it. So, what was your major at Clark?
I was middle grades education, so
Okay.
I came in middle grades education. My freshman year, I ended up getting placed into what you call a BSMST program. So
Okay.
I ended up finishing in 5 years with my bachelor's and my master's in middle grades education.
Oh,
And so
wow.
yeah, so that was it was a really good look, like I say, because I didn't know how at that time how that was going to capitulate me, just kind of throw
Yeah.
me out there and just put me ahead of the game. But
Yeah.
it really did at that point. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, that's a blessing. I mean, like you didn't have to do additional time in school and whatnot. So you were able to get it all done.
In 5 years, like I said,
5 years.
from '93 to '98, baby, I was there. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a blessing.
Yep.
Shoot, listen, I wish I had done that. Like had them, combined. That would have saved a whole lot of money.
Indeed, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
So did you go straight into teaching, or how did your journey begin?
So basically, when you go to school in the AU Center, a lot of times your clinical experiences are based in Atlanta public schools or what have
Yeah.
you. So my clinical experience actually was at West Fulton Middle School, which is on Bankhead, which
Ooh.
is now I believe it's is that Hollis uh
Yeah.
at the time. So this was back, man, in 19, like say 98. So I was there from
Yeah.
98 to 2000.
Ooh.
Um it was truly an experience. I just remember just going to work every day and just feeling like, man, your ears to the street, where like you really know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in the streets because they literally brought it in every day. But I really enjoyed the experience, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed being able to pour into the kids. I mean, it was just baffling, and it was kind of it was all inspiring just to kind of
Yeah.
to see what the kids were witnessing. Like
Yeah.
you had kids coach basketball there with one of my coworkers there, and we would often take the kids home. So I mean, I'm dropping kids off in Bowen homes, off
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. Um, Asking them, okay, well, how we get to your house? But they only know the bus route because
Yeah.
that's all they've ever taken. So they might take me the whole bus route just to get to their to get them home. So it
Yeah.
was it was a great experience though.
Yeah, that era. I tell anybody, if you're able to teach in the 30318 area or in that vicinity, the Bankhead vicinity, you are like a champion because it
Yeah,
takes special teachers to reach that demographic and whatnot. And it is definitely a special calling because everybody can't teach in the urban communities like that, and the children know it as well. So, what's your journey being there? How long were you at West Fulton?
I was at West Fulton from '98 to 2000.
Okay.
Um, like I say, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
West Fulton was like I say, we
Yeah.
talking the 1990s
The
West Fulton now.
1900s, as they
So
say.
So
Yeah.
I ended up leaving West Fulton, and I went and I did a stint in just a quick stint in Cobb County for a year,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then I landed in Fulton County where I spent the majority of my time, and actually ended up at a elementary school that I Stonewall Tail Elementary, and
Okay.
I was there teaching fifth grade, and really loved it.
Yeah.
Um, Ended up being in Fulton County for like 11, 12 years, for a long time. I
Okay.
At Stonewall Tail, because I was pretty math based, and I'm very passionate about math.
Yeah.
Um, I just loved it. So I ended up
Yeah.
starting a pre-algebra program at Stonewall Tail, and this was back in the
Wow.
2000s.
Right.
And so what I did, it was an after school program, and some of
Mm-hmm.
like the top tier kids in the school, I offered this pre-algebra program which was after school, and so
Okay.
I taught them pre-algebra concepts,
Mm-hmm.
and it became a real thing at Stonewall Tail
Yeah.
in the community. And
Okay.
I don't know if you know anything about the community, but Stonewall Tail, the rival school in the community at the time was actually A. Philip Randolph.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so it kind of got to the point to where Stonewall Tail became that if you
Mm.
want everybody, we want our kids to go to Stonewall Taylor.
Okay.
We kind of,
Yeah.
garnered it and got that reputation. And I
Yeah.
would say that this pre-algebra program that I put in place, I want to say that had a huge part of that. And then because I know like even now, a lot of the kids that came through my program back in the day, a lot of them are scientists, engineers,
Wow.
doctors, that
Wow.
I mean, they all went to school and took your pre-calculuses, your calculus, your statistics classes, and all that. And even when I see them, like to this day, like
Yeah.
their parents and themselves, they give me, credence for that. Not that that's what I'm looking for,
Yeah. I
but
know what you're
it's
saying.
like,
Yeah.
Mr. Hall, oh my God, I can't, I thank you so much, and I get that,
Yeah.
and I get that a lot.
Yeah, that's a blessing though, because math was not my forte. Everybody who knows me knows that math was not my thing. So, but we knew that during that era that the math, STEM, and all of that was a growing subject, and we needed especially more Black boys and girls in that field. So that was a huge deal. Like
Yes.
you starting that and being the catalyst to your students excelling and going into those fields, like you said, doctor and all of that. That's
Yeah.
huge. Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did you run that program?
I ran it because I stayed at Stonewall Tail for like 4 or 5 years, so maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
I
Okay.
stayed there. To kind of go back a little bit, even
Yeah.
going transitioning from the middle school to the elementary school, what I found, even with it just being in elementary,
Mm-hmm.
just realizing how valuable it is to have strong, positive,
Yeah.
uh real Black men in the
Yes.
elementary school setting, just how it was, because a lot of the kids was like, man, you was the first Black male teacher that I ever had, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like.
Yeah.
And again, even out in the community, I see them. I mean, because I remember just having the kids, we'd go outside for recess and
Yeah.
all the guys would gather around. So I was always the all-time quarterback. So we go
Yeah.
outside for recess. They want to play football. All right, I'm an all-time quarterback, and they knew that.
Yeah.
So we got a chance to do that. I mean, it's just different. So just
Yeah.
just being able to connect with kids at at that particular level,
Mm-hmm.
um, in elementary school, I just know that
Yeah.
that was strong, that was positive, and
Yeah. And it
I
was needed.
and
It
it
was
was neat.
needed.
Exactly.
It was needed. I remember being at my first elementary school, and I can literally count the number of Black men educators that were in our building on one hand, And so, as time, and I'm glad to see more Black men in the field of education, especially early childhood, because y'all are needed. And I don't think people understand how critical it is. What I tell people, children hear the women voices at home, the grandmothers, the aunties, and the mothers, and so they're missing that male voice element.
Hmm.
So when they get to school, all they're hearing and seeing are females again. And so when we have male teachers in the building, it's like, yo, y'all, y'all are needed and welcome. We
Yeah.
welcome y'all because we try to keep y'all there, So,
Yep.
so you went from middle school to elementary.
Yep.
Um, and was that your original plan to go to elementary?
No, it actually wasn't.
Okay.
I I when I left Cobb and came to Fulton, um, I kind of knew a principal, the principal at Stonewall Till. When I was in college, I actually subbed in Fulton County,
Okay.
and he was happened to be the principal there. And I interviewed, and he brought me on, and
Yeah.
there it was, and it just
Yeah.
went from there. And at the time, I was staying in Cobb County, and
Yeah.
I was commuting over here, and
Okay.
this whole South Fulton area was literally nothing but trees. And so we ended,
Yeah.
come over here. They started building the community, and it was like telling my wife, like, "Hey, babe, there's some houses over there, and it's close to where I work at. Like, I
Yeah.
think we should try to move over there." And we ended up moving over here. So I ended up living literally right down the street from where I work. So I'm
Okay.
a big proponent of working where you live. If I live in the community, I should work in
Yes.
the community. So when you see me out, I should be able to see your mom and see your dad and be like, hey, what's going on? So you have those relationships. So you tend to have, less disciplinary problems because
Mm-hmm.
I know your mama. And I might run
Right.
into your mama in public. So I might run into your mama at the grocery store. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
I'm just a big proponent of working where you
Yep.
live. I don't believe if you stay in South Fulton, then work in South Fulton. Serve your
Mm-hmm.
community. Do that community good. Don't live in South Fulton and necessarily travel to Alpharetta or travel to
Yes.
Fayette County. But I do understand for some people for peace of mind.
Yeah.
That's why they
Yeah.
do that. So I do understand
Yeah.
that case also.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've always taught. I stayed in the area where I taught. And a lot of people were like, "Why you stay in the hood?" I'm like, "Actually, it's not the hood." I say, and my same sentiments is like, if I'm teaching in this community, I want to be able to tell them that, listen, I understand what you're dealing with and whatnot. I understand, like you said, if I see you at the grocery store, then I'm running into your parents. Hey, we can have our mini conference or, just anything. So I'm a huge component of that. To this day, I literally live where I worked, where I taught at. And it made a big difference. And
It
I'm
does.
yeah, and I'm with you too. I get it. If you teach way in, Clayton County, you live in Alpharetta, what I get it, But for me, I've always that was always my thing. I wanted to teach. I wanted to live where I would, teach in the neighborhood and so
And,
forth. So
and
I
what
yeah, yeah.
and what that kind of shows is that as an educator and what it shows to the parents, to the school board, to the community,
Mm-hmm.
I'm vested.
Yes.
I'm vested in this community.
Yes.
I want to see the school do well because I'm vested.
Right.
I pay property taxes right here. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? So I
Exactly.
want the schools to be well because I want
Right.
people to move over here. I want people to to live in this community. So it
Right.
just shows that I'm vested. So I mean that's
Yeah.
kind of how I've always been. So that yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you on that. I definitely do. And it has worked out for me, all these years, even up until my retirement and so forth. So I applaud you as another educator that you took that step in doing that. So after your middle school transition to elementary, you created this program.
Mhm.
What was next for you?
All
What
right,
was next?
so actually, so after I taught at the elementary school level for
Mm-hmm.
several years at Stonewall Tail,
Yeah.
then I did the middle schools in my community. So I went back to
Okay.
what I was actually trained for. So
Yeah.
then I worked at Sandtown. I taught math
Okay.
at Sandtown, and
Mm-hmm.
then so I did that for for a number of years, and then I
Yeah.
left Sandtown and I worked at Renaissance Elementary.
Okay.
Not Renaissance Elementary, but Renaissance Middle School.
Okay.
All right, and so I know at Renaissance, one year it was a team of all male. It was a all male math team.
Really?
Myself, a guy named Mr. Tate, Marcus Tate, Mr.
Uh-huh.
Thomas, and another guy named Mr. Carter. So we were the math teachers, and our principal at the time was George Weathers, and
Okay.
and man, he really gave he started us off as a team and
Okay.
just kind of gave us the autonomy to be able to kind of do what we needed to do as far as
Yeah.
to get the math department going.
Yeah.
And I just remember that year when the scores came back, it was
Mm-hmm.
just like, man, what they doing down there at Renaissance? Because we had some of like the largest gains in
Yeah.
all of Fulton County
Yeah.
in those years that I was there. So
Mm-hmm.
that was great. And then Mr. Weathers ended up leaving, and they
Okay.
brought in another administrator, and her name was Miss Wheeler. And
Mm-hmm.
at that time, then she had me teach sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. So I taught all three grade levels. I taught
Okay.
tag, and that was probably the funnest year that I'd ever had. I taught,
Really?
yeah, and I had three different preps, and it was so fun. Oh my God, it was so
Yeah.
fun. It was so fun.
Yeah. Wow,
It was so
wow.
fun.
That was, but that's good that you had fun doing what you love,
Yeah.
actually going to school and actually being in a field that you love. That makes a big difference and so forth. Now, so jumping from education, I heard that you're a musician.
Well,
You
I do music. So
you do music.
yep. So one of my good friends, his name is David Lord.
Yeah.
Um, when I was in college, my college job is I worked at Run and Shoot. If anybody's from Atlanta, you know about Run
Mm.
and Shoot. So when it
Yeah.
opened, I was one of the the first employees at Run and Shoot because my cousin knew the guy who owned it. So
Okay.
I was working at Run and Shoot, and so I ended up meeting David at Run and Shoot back
Uh-huh.
in '93 or whatever, and I just knew him from Run and Shoot. I knew him from Run and Shoot.
Yeah.
So when I graduated from college, I
Mm-hmm.
actually bought a house right across the street from David, and
Okay.
David was already teaching, and so
Okay.
and you just talk about teaching and talk about getting into teaching,
Yeah.
and so I literally could walk from my house and just walk across the street, and he never
Yeah.
locked his door, and I just walk
Okay.
in and we just started. He was like, "Man, you should start writing, man. You should start writing about this and
Yeah.
writing about that." So okay, so I just start writing. So it started right there, literally sitting in David's house, writing on his couch,
Wow.
and just sharing stuff, and it just kind of it kind of went from there, and then we would just write
Yeah.
poetry. We would share, and then back in the '90s,
Mm-hmm.
they had a Starbucks on Cascade Road.
Yeah.
Actually used to have a like an open mic on every Saturday. So
Mm-hmm.
man, we would go and we would just share on Saturdays. It was a family field event. Just
Yeah.
people would bring their kids out, and what started off as something that was small just kind
Mm-hmm.
of grew and grew, and it just snowballed till it was just like, oh my God, it's a gang of people here. If you don't get here early, you're not
Yeah.
gonna get a chance to perform. So we
Right.
started performing at the Starbucks and just
Mm-hmm.
doing little reciting our poetry there. And then I remember when we recorded our first little cut, which was called Strictly Observations. That was the
Yeah.
title of it.
Okay.
And it's like an 11-minute song where we just giving a rendition of what we've observed in life.
Yeah.
And we put it out, and it's a timeless classic. I mean,
Yeah.
we not with a big label or anything, because we do it for the art. We do it
Yeah.
for the love. It's not like, oh, we finna be these big, this got that or the other, but we do it for the art. We do it for the love. But it's a
Right.
timeless classic, and if you ever get an opportunity to to listen to Strictly Observations,
Right.
it's a timeless classic. And like I said, because we're just talking on what was going on at the time, and it's
Right.
still relevant even to this day.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I worked with David, cool brother, cool brother. I love him dearly. I call him, we call each other fam and so forth because we did teach at the same school. And I remember he introduced, he was like, take a listen to it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like it's a banger. Like, like you said, it's the poetry, it's the art of it. And I think that's what I appreciate you about you all. It's the art of the music. It's not junk. It is something that you can listen to. It's something that your families can listen to, the children and so forth. And it's
Yeah.
relevant. What made you want to go in that direction? Like, so did you stop teaching and just focus on music, or was it intertwined?
It's always been intertwined, because a lot of the
Okay.
messages, I know you've listened to some of the music.
Yeah.
A lot of the messages in the music come from the teaching.
Yeah.
So a lot of the content we got came from what we
Yeah.
observed. You know what I'm saying, in the
Mm-hmm.
education system. And if you listen to it, I mean, we literally are telling you like, hey man, this is what's going on, and this
Yeah.
is what we could possibly be able to do to fix
Yeah.
it. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, so it's always been, you
Yeah.
know, intertwined, and we always write. But what would
Yeah.
happen is in the summer break,
Mm-hmm.
we would literally like 2 or 3 times a week go to the studio
Yeah.
and spend like literally all day in the studio and just work on a
Yeah.
project all throughout the summer. And we
Yeah.
did that every summer for years and
Mm.
years and years. So I'm telling you, we have so much material
Wow.
that's been heard, and some that's
Yeah.
probably not been heard. But
Yeah.
again, still very relevant to the day.
Mhm.
It's timeless music, to be honest with
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a blessing though. That is definitely a blessing to be able to still have relevant music and not, I'd say, not sell out to what's popular,
you. Right.
because I'm always telling people we need to bring conscious music back. We need to, that's one reason why I love sharing you all's music, because we need it. We already know the airways are filled with junk. Y'all gonna
Yep.
put it out there.
Oh,
Y'all
it
know
is.
it's
It's
junk.
garbage. It's
And
garbage.
then we we have a responsibility, especially as for me, a former educator. We talk about what the children need or whatnot, but we as adults know what they need, and we have the capability and the power. And so I applaud you all for taking that stance, because you could have went the other direction. You could have went the popular direction, and put out whatever just for the likes and the shares and the money or whatever. But you chose conscious, and you chose the right thing to do, because again, we're responsible for the youth. We always saying, they are our next, they are the generation. And it's up to, yes, it is up to us to lead them. So I applaud you all for your music, and the lyrics, and just to be able to listen to stuff without having to turn it down or bleep bleep. You get tired of that after so. But I'm 52, so it's like them days gone. I need something that I could just listen to and chill to. So
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
But even being 52, like we are we're not, hip hop raised us.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Real hip hop raised us. So,
Right.
you know, when we came up, it was such a variety though. You had,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Oh my
had, you
God.
had your NWA, but
Yeah.
but you still had your Poison Clan. I mean,
Right.
you had your X Clan. I meant to say, you had
Yeah.
your Public Enemy.
Yeah.
You had your Conscious. It was just a good mix. You had your Kwame's. You had
Right.
like now everything is the
The
same.
same.
Everything is the same. All these cats are rapping, and all their cadences are the
The same.
same. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And like I say,
Yeah.
so it's so just saying that to say, as someone who was raised on hip hop,
Yeah.
it's we do it because it's just a part of who we are. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that we out here trying to be no stars, and
Right.
if we can get some money on it, that's good. But
Yeah.
we do it because it's almost like this is a part of my culture. This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is what I am. This is why
Right.
we do what we do.
Yeah, you're so right. We were raised with a variety, because I'm an NWA fan. I'm from LA, so it was like I could go from the gangster rap to, of course, Queen Latifah. You know what I'm saying? And
KRS
it was,
One.
yeah, like it was a mixture. Now it, like you said, it's all the same. You're like, okay, I think I heard that on the last
I mean,
10 songs.
how many lil this, lil
Right,
that, lil this, lil that, lil this guy, this lil that guy, lil that guy? Like, come on, man! Like, and
right.
all y'all cats sound the same. All
The
y'all sound the
same.
same.
I had to ask my niece. I said, "Now, which baby is this one? Like, how many babies
You see
are,
what I'm
are
saying?
there?" Like, it makes no sense to me, and I get it, But I do appreciate that hip hop raised us, and we were exposed to the different genres of hip hop, because hip hop it's still going, but I hope and pray that we can get back to that variety, and with you all being out there, it's like I'm praying that more people can catch on, because we need it, we need
Indeed,
it. Y'all
indeed,
have some mellow tunes where you could just cruise. I think y'all shared once. I don't remember the name of it, but I just remember cruising, and I put it on Instagram, and people were like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Yo, check this out." Like, it was just a cruising vibe,
yeah.
So I appreciate that about y'all. So what is going on now with your music and your education?
All right, so musically, we still make music.
Yeah.
We got some stuff that we're gonna release probably this summer. But
Okay.
of course now with music, I mean we got, like I said, we got such a huge catalog that to
Yeah.
be released, but now it's like you got to release something, but you got to also release a visual with it. So it's
Yeah.
like you can't just put out the music. You got to have the
Yeah.
music, and you got to have something to see, because if not, it's gonna really get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what we're trying to do now is to basically get some videos recorded, so
Mm-hmm.
that as we drop this stuff, in the throughout the summer, whatever, we can
Yeah.
also drop a video to go with it. And I mean, we got
Okay.
some really. oh my God, some really good stuff.
Really?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, I know my homeboy David lost his dad last year.
Yeah.
Um, a guy produced a track for us. His name is Big Phrase. He actually
Okay.
produced a track for us called "Win." It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
dropping this summer.
Okay.
Um, Phrase is no longer with us. He just
Oh,
passed.
oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, he actually curated the hook, and it's basically talking about like just when like
Yeah.
just win, like
Yeah. Yeah.
when I leave here, or when while I'm here, just
Right.
it's really powerful. David kind of talks about the whole transition of his pops on there. It's
Okay.
pretty emotional. The hook is very
Okay.
catchy. The beat is banging. I mean,
Yeah.
we got some like some house party like tracks. I mean, so I mean we
Really?
yeah, like we got some real good stuff that I'm actually on there with my daughter, and
Okay.
she's actually bringing some heat on there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I'm not just saying
Okay.
that because she's my daughter,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we just versatile. We could kind of do
Yeah.
all styles. So it's coming this summer. So that's where musically we at. We just
Okay.
really trying to get some videos recorded so we could
Yeah.
drop some new music. Um, Education wise, I've been out for a little while.
Okay.
For the last 5 years. Um,
Okay.
I may be entering back into a system soon. I don't know. We'll see where
Okay.
God leads me. So,
Yes.
if it's God's will, I'll be back. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, man, this is what you're supposed to be doing. It's your calling. So it's like,
Right.
I dig it, and I still have passion for it. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Where I
Yeah.
land. We're just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. Do you think that the 5-year break was needed for you?
Yeah, I could say it was needed. I mean,
Yeah.
like I say, yeah, it was needed. Got a chance to
Yeah.
kind of step back and see um what's actually needed, and
Yeah.
just talking to people who've still been doing it. What I can see is that you have a there's a been a drop off of people that are going into education. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You have these young kids that go into education, they get
Mm-hmm.
into the building, but then it's not a lot of OGs in the building to teach them
No.
how to navigate the system. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I believe that is why you have a high turnover rate, like why you got people that's going into it and they're not
Mm-hmm.
staying past 2 or 3 years, because
Mm-mm.
I'm in this, right, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
have anybody that can bring me under their wing and say, all right,
Mm-hmm.
look, yo, let me teach you how to navigate. Let me
Mm-hmm.
teach you. Let me teach you how to teach. Let me show you what's important to be teaching. Let me
Yes.
teach you how to conduct yourself. And so they kind of get in it and they get
Yeah.
kind of lost in the shuffle because
Mm-hmm.
they really don't have anybody that's mentoring. And I mean, and that's just from the classroom
Yeah.
level. As far as like administratively, man, you got, I can't say for everybody, but you got
Yeah.
people that are being thrust into administrative roles and they ain't got
Mm-hmm.
no classroom experience.
Ooh.
So how the heck you gonna how the heck you gonna relate to somebody that's in the classroom if you ain't never did it yourself for a sustained amount of time? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you can't even relate. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just saying that to say I feel like I still have
Yeah.
a lot to give, because
Yeah.
again, this is what I was trained for. This is what I went to school for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what I've done all my life. So I still feel
Mm-hmm.
like I have a lot to give. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that. When I left, I took an early retirement and after the pandemic, and I was watching some of the new ones come in, and you're right, they don't stay past 3, 4 years.
mm,
And the first thing they say is like, "This is too much," or "It's we're tired," and and the older me is like, no, try to give it a chance, this, that, another. But then I have to step back and I see now the difference, because they don't have that support. I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure in our era when we started teaching in the 90s, we had that support. You had those OGs and those mentors to take you under the wing. And like you said, show us what to do. I remember my first principal, she was like, you need to ride around in Perry Homes so you can understand who you're teaching.
mm-hmm,
And I'm like, ooh, okay. But it helped because then I understood my neighborhood. I'm
mm-hmm.
like, oh, Bowen Homes, Perry Homes, all of the homes. And she wanted us to ride through that. You don't have that now. You don't have administrators saying, hey, get out into your community, get to know your students or whatnot. And then everything is so political now. It's
Everything is
like
so political.
it's political. You can't teach.
You can't teach, and then you can't teach, and oftentimes administrators don't have no filter. And what I mean by having no
Ooh.
filter, you got the people who are at the board level who are,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, totally disconnected.
Very.
But I'm gonna tell Principal A what to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Principal A just want to keep the job so they can continue to ride in their Benz or whatever they got and pay their mortgage. And versus them filtering what comes
Mm-hmm.
down the pipeline saying, look, man,
Mm-hmm.
they told me this, but I know it's some foolishness, but
Yeah.
this how we gonna navigate to get
Mm-hmm.
through this. Instead of them doing that, in order
Mm-hmm.
to keep their job, I'm just gonna dump it all down on you, and I'm not gonna filter it at all. So here you
Right.
are. So here you are. You're a first, a second year teacher,
Mm-hmm.
no
Mm-hmm.
OG to say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
don't do this or don't do that, so don't worry about this or don't do that. And you
Right.
getting told you got to do A B C D E F G
Right.
H I J K elemental P. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. I
Right.
mean, come on.
Right. You so right.
I'm
Like
just being
you,
real. No filter.
yeah. And I think it's very important that we need people, we need teachers like such as yourself who are going to re-enter to, come with the realness. Someone asked me, they were like, do you want to come back? I said I would have to come back under a few conditions. I said I would have to really be myself, and I would have to I wouldn't be able to have anybody hovering over me because now I know what is needed. And when I took a break the first time, I know what I need to do and I know what the children need. I
Right.
don't need y'all telling me what I should be doing because I've been doing this thing for over 20 some years,
Mhm.
And so I said I would have to, and y'all would have to pay. Like you don't want to invest in your teachers. And I think it's very urgent that you get back in so that you, because you have that experience, you know what is needed and you can go in and say, listen, we got to clean house. We got to do something. We got to do differently.
Got to.
We got to do differently. Would you go in as an admin or would you go in back as a teacher?
I've always been I've always been a trenches guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe get back in, starting off as a teacher. But I
Yeah.
mean, I got so much to give. I have so much
Yeah.
knowledge that I could see myself eventually, going into administration because I mean
Yeah.
I just got a lot to give, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, I know a lot. I
Yeah.
mean pedagogically, I know how to teach a lesson. I know what it takes to
Right.
get kids to learn. I know
Right.
how to establish relationship with the community, with parents. Because really that's really what it's all about. Establishing a
Yeah.
relationship with your community, with your
Yeah.
parents. You know what I'm saying? Buying to for everybody to buy to what it is that we're trying to
Yeah.
sell you guys. I know how to do that.
Yeah. That's missing. That is missing. That relationship, with the community and with the teacher and admin, that is the missing piece in education. Even now when I'm subbing, I'm sitting back and I'm observing, and I'm like, nobody has a relationship with anybody anymore.
Mm-mm.
It's just strictly what's on what is needed, the political side of it, getting the numbers up. I said, but
Get them
nobody's
test
built
scores
to
up.
the right,
Get them test
right.
scores up. That's what it's all
Right.
about. Get
And
them
you
test
can't,
scores up.
you don't have a relationship. Nobody has built a relationship with anybody in the school. And it baffles me. And I'm just like, so how do you think you're going to reach the children? How do you think you're going to get the test scores up? You got to start off with a relationship. And that has been the missing piece since the mid 2000s, in my
Yep.
opinion, like the
I
mid 2000s
yep. Yep. I
when
agree.
we started growing up and becoming, like, okay, and then the new ones are, it's like nobody wants to take the time to build those relationships anymore. Like it's scary because again, we know that we need teachers. We know that we need teachers.
And we need a
However,
we need a diverse population of
yes,
teachers. Okay.
yes,
We need a
yes,
diverse population. We
yeah,
need I mean, it's a rainbow of people out there. So when I say that, I'm speaking
Yeah.
in many ways. You
Mm-hmm.
need men that look like me. You need some men that might not look like me. You need
Listen.
men with their orientation might be of my
Mm-hmm.
orientation.
Mm-hmm.
You need men that may be of another orientation. You need women that
Yes.
look like you. You need women that don't look like you.
Yes.
So it needs to be a you know what I'm saying? It's just it's
Yeah.
you need a diverse, you know what I'm saying? So it can't be one set. I mean,
Yeah.
education has been a pretty uh female dominated profession.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
oftentimes people that look like me and of my
Mm-hmm.
orientation, especially here lately, have
Yeah.
been we kind of getting left out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being
Yep.
real.
Yeah. I keep listen. That's what
And I'm trying to
the
say this
mailroom.
it's saying in a light way, you know what I'm saying?
No, you know what? That's what the mailroom is all about. We have to be authentic and we have to speak the truth because that is the truth. You
And so I'm
know, it's the
yeah.
truth. You especially when you're talking about the demographics we're teaching and encountering, you know, the children, the students, they know. Listen, if anybody don't understand, children keep it real with you. If you
Mhm.
ever want to know the truth, ask a child, and they will tell you what they need. But we don't listen to them. We don't
Right.
listen to them, you know. And so that's one thing about this platform. I've always stated that the truth has to be spoken, and by it being educators, because again we need teachers and we know that schools are still in and so forth, so why not have these real conversations, and we're not given this opportunity to have these real conversations at the board meetings or even at the PTA meetings. Everybody want to sugarcoat stuff and tiptoe around the issue, and then you're sitting back and looking like, oh well, what's the problem? Well, we're trying to tell you the problem,
Right.
you know. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Exactly what it is.
So
Exactly what it is.
hey, I listen. I try to I like speaking the truth, but when it comes to education, people really don't want to hear the truth because it's like, you know, as I was told before, well, you can't hold the parents responsible. I said, why we can't?
Right.
I didn't birth the children.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
gotta call it out what it we gotta call it what it is. They are not doing their part. We're not doing our part. Everybody has to do their part and work together. But the
Abs-
teachers can't do it by themselves, you know,
absolutely.
can't do it by themselves. So what is next for you? What is next for you?
Man, I don't know. So
Yeah,
I'm going where he leads me. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
This last 5 years or so has been, it's been crazy. You know, I faced a lot
yeah.
of adversity.
Okay.
That has tested my faith, my
Mm,
strength, uh,
yeah.
and my resolve. Um,
Mm,
the journey has been long. It's been marked
yeah.
by betrayal,
Woo.
loss, persecution.
Mm,
But through it all, um, I have held on to the unwavering belief
yeah.
that God's plan is greater than the
Yeah.
trials that I face. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, I'm
Yeah.
not really sure. I mean, I
Okay.
think I have an idea, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you have a plan, but
Mm-hmm.
God be like, hold on just a second. You think you got a plan, but
Right.
that ain't really your plan. So
Yeah.
I can't really say because I think
Yeah.
I know where we're going, but then like I say, he'll say, oh boy, that ain't no, I got some way bigger and better.
Yeah.
So, but what I've learned, and even in talking to one of my elder friends earlier this week, not too
Yeah.
much older, just but one of my
Yeah.
good brothers, he was just like, man, sometimes you go through stuff and y- you make it all about yourself. You make
Yeah.
it, a selfish thing where it's like, God, like, why me? Why you putting
Yeah.
me through this?
Oh,
Why am I doing this?
yeah.
Why, God? Like, it's all on me. When
Yeah.
all actuality, God is putting you through this so that
Mm-hmm.
others can see you go through it
Mm-hmm.
and see the strength and the testament of your faith.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you got to go through it so that they can see it, so that you can, bring others to Him through your
Yeah.
faith. So in the big scheme of thing, like it ain't about you at all. It's
Yeah.
really not about you at all.
It's
So
not.
so that's something that it is taking me. oh my God, the whole 4 or 5 years you realize like, man,
Yeah.
this ain't even about me. This
Yeah.
ain't even
Yeah.
about me. This ain't this.
Yeah.
This got way more to do it than me. And
Yeah.
I just think, I'm just grateful and I'm thankful that I've been able
Yeah.
to just continuously stand
Mm-hmm.
and not give up and
Yeah.
still, just kind of be me because
Yeah.
people see him be like, oh man, that brother doing good, and oh da 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 da, this happened to him, and he's still
Yeah.
like, he took a lick and he's still ticking, man. Like,
Yeah.
they tried to slander him, but he's still ticking, he's still going, and not knowing that, man, this ain't no fun right now.
Right.
Your boy,
Right.
is going through it, but
Yeah.
but
I'm not I'm not sure if you're able to talk about every, the what happened, but in the midst of all of this, and you say that the trials and tribulation of going through this, how did you navigate? How did you navigate and say, wait a minute, I wait a minute, doing Kevin Hart, wait a minute. How did you navigate and just really keep the faith? Because like you said, betrayal and all of that. And it's like, wait a minute, come
man,
on,
look,
God.
I'm gonna just say it hasn't been easy. It was,
Yeah,
especially on in the very beginning. It just really was not easy at all.
yeah,
And I'm human. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm human. I'm of the
Mm-hmm.
flesh. And so it was rough, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it like I said, it came to a point where it's like I had my first Kings 19:5 moment, man, where I was like,
yeah.
while I'm Elijah, like, hey God, man, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even want to be here no more. Like, man, like,
Mm-hmm.
just let me go be with the elders. And I'm just gonna be, I'm not gonna lie
Mm.
to you. So
Yeah,
it was really rough like that. But I mean, I'm still here. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I've
yeah.
gotten through it because what I've learned is that that first King 19:5 moment,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
was not that wasn't the end of the story. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? That's
Mm.
not the end of the
Mm-hmm.
story. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that he's working some things out even
Yeah.
now as you and I conversate that
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he working on my behalf right now,
Yeah.
and I don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? But in that
Right.
first King 19 moment, it basically say, at this time, Elijah said he lay down and he slept under the broom tree. But as
Mm.
he was sleeping, the angel touched him and told him, "Get up and eat." So
Mm.
as I slept, so I got up to eat. So what I got from this whole First King 19:5 is basically like it's three things I got to do, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got to rest. I got to get
Mm.
my rest.
Mm.
Get my middle together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta eat. I gotta
Mm.
eat. I gotta read God's word. You know what I'm saying, on the
Mm-hmm.
daily. I gotta consume that. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
consume positive thoughts. I gotta,
Yeah.
with good people. And then at the end of the day, after I eat and I rest, I gotta get up and I gotta keep going, man. And that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep on
Mm.
pushing. I'm gonna keep on
Mm.
pushing, and I'm gonna keep on pushing. So that's what that's where I'm at with it. So to say where am I gonna be,
Yeah.
I kind of know, but I don't really know
Yeah.
because at any given moment, God can be like, let's do this right here. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be humble and follow,
Mm-hmm.
follow his lead, wherever he want me to be,
Yeah.
that's where I'm
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be
Wow.
and it's gonna be I feel like wherever he wants me to be, it's not gonna be nothing that's gonna be, oh, I'm trying to force it into this right here.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be kind of laid out
Mm-hmm.
and ordained, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to just walk
Yeah.
into it, and I'm gonna know that it is of God.
Yeah. Oh, ain't that the truth? Because when you know that it is of him, you're able to walk through that door, walk through that thing with peace, with ease.
Hmm.
You're like, okay, he orchestrated this,
Right.
And like you said, at that time, you don't understand the trials and tribulations you go through because I'm with you. It's like, Jesus, dear God, what? You know, but what's the scripture? All things really do work for us, those that believe him and
Right.
that follow him. It works for our good. It
Indeed.
just it doesn't look pretty. And I think that's what people fail to understand. He never said it was gonna be all roses and tutus and
Mm-mm.
rainbows.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
you know?
And people, and again, like I said at the beginning, people are watching. You got people
Yeah.
that's watching and rooting for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That are
Mm-hmm.
close to you. You got
Mm-hmm.
people that are watching and rooting for you that might not be so close to you. Then you
Yeah.
got people that's watching and saying, "Yeah, I can't wait to see him fall." You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yep.
I can't wait to see him fall. So I
Right.
mean, so people are watching. So
Yeah.
our lives and what we go through are it's everything is for his glorification. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Everything
oh
is for him to
yes.
see that, oh man, like, okay, Brodrick went through that. I see
Yeah.
what happened to him. And look at what God did for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Look at how
Mm-hmm.
God used him. Look at his faith. So that's
Yeah.
so to get to this point, but it has taken me 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
to get to this point.
Yeah.
Because when you're going through it,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't
Mm-hmm.
fun. It's not fun. It's
Right.
not fun.
It's
It's not
not.
fun.
It's not. You question God, you question your faith, you question your path. Like, I don't know about you, but I remember just having one of those come to Jesus moments when I was going through my trials and tribulations. And I was like, Lord, you got the wrong person. Because I'm not equipped to handle this. I'm like, do you see what I'm going? And then as time progressed and you start, like you said, feeding yourself with the word and understanding and putting yourself in because you become isolated.
You
It's
do.
like you're isolated. It becomes you and him. Even, my husband at sometimes he be like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's just me and Jesus. It's me and him." But it's that isolation period that you need to move forward to get you to that point where he needs you to be. Because when you make it through, when you walk through, then those people who were doubting you, it's like you said, everything, God gets the glory. That's the bottom line. God gets the glory out of all of this.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Wow, wow, wow. Listen, we are coming to a close. Of course, I love your testimony, and I'm thankful that you were able to come on and share your testimony, because again, this is what this platform is about. And of course, you're always welcome back. I cannot wait to see what's next for you. You know, music wise, education wise, just in whole. I'm super proud of you for staying the course and to really say, listen, it ain't me. This is all God.
It's all God, man. It ain't me at all. I
It
promise
ain't
you.
me.
It ain't me at
Right.
all.
Because we can't operate in the flesh. Our flesh would be like, deuces.
Deuces. For real though. For real though. For real
Our
though.
deuces, our flesh be like, listen, go find somebody else to do it, God. I can't, I'm not doing it. But we know that when we are operating as believers and we have a duty, a obligation to our Lord and Savior. We have to go through these things. We have
Absolutely.
to, and like you stated, it's not pretty. It's not
Mm-mm.
easy.
It ain't
it
fun.
ain't
It
fun.
don't feel good.
Not at all.
None of that. None of that.
Not at all. But at the very end, He's not going to leave us, and He hasn't left you. He has so much in store for you. And,
Absolutely.
for those people who are waiting for your downfall, listen, if y'all waiting for the downfalls, I feel sorry for you, because that's something you're going to have to battle with between you and God.
Oh,
Because,
he preparing the table.
you,
He preparing the table right now. That's all I can say.
woo,
He preparing the table right now. So
woo, listen, I don't want to be them. Y'all, I don't want to be them. So,
preparing the
listen,
table.
I am so thankful again that you were able to come on and join me today. And any last words you want to give to your supporters, or how can we find you for your music and everything that's going on? Where can we connect and support you?
All right. So musically, you can follow us on Instagram. Just look up Strictly Observations Crew on Instagram, and that's us. Strictly Observations Crew came from the song that we
Yeah,
made way back in 2001. So you can find us there. And like I say, I don't know. I'm gonna quote these words from a song that is yet unreleased, but
yeah,
and the hook goes, I don't know where I'm going to
yeah.
chase the wind. I never think about losing. I came to win. I'm
Mm,
ready to leave here, baby. Just tell me when. So that's coming real soon, and it's gonna touch a lot
mm,
of people. Follow us in Strictly Observations Crew on Instagram. We got
yeah.
a lot of stuff coming this summer, and I really thank you for having me on your platform. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It was an honor and a pleasure. So I thank you. And for those who are out there, make sure that you follow the Mailroom on all social media platforms, the Mailroom 7671. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page and make sure you go follow this good brother in Strictly Observation. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed at all. So thank you all so much for joining us for another edition of the Mailroom Messages from Him. Messages from Him. This is what it's all about. Until next time, peace out, you guys.
Peace. All right.